We've all had those moments where we stare at a page for hours and nothing sticks. You read the same line again and again, but your brain feels like it's buffering. And then you see someone else who just seems naturally sharp. They pick up ideas fast, remember details, and connect dots instantly. It almost feels unfair. But here's the truth. Being smart isn't only about genetics or IQ. It's about the tiny, repeated things you do every day that shape how your brain works. Because science shows the brain is plastic. It literally rewires itself based on how you use it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to boost memory and focus naturally, build mental energy that lasts through long study sessions, and make your brain work for you, not against you. These are simple, but proven. Let's start with the first one. We all know multitasking kills focus, but what's less known is why. According to research from Stanford, switching between tasks lowers efficiency by up to 40%. The brain works best in rhythms of focus and rest. That's why elite performers, from musicians to chess players, practice in 90-minute blocks. During that window, your brain enters a state called flow. Your attention narrows, distractions fade, and you actually think faster. So instead of studying all day in scattered bursts, design your schedule around 1 or 2 deep focus sessions, about 90 minutes each, with everything else off. No phone, no notifications, just one goal. When you finish, take a real break. Go for a walk, stretch, let your brain reset. I used to study for 8 hours straight and feel drained. Now, 2 deep sessions, and I retain more than ever. It sounds strange, but some of the sharpest minds, from Einstein to modern CEOs, use movement as a thinking tool. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain by over 20%. That means more oxygen, more energy, and better concentration. In one Harvard study, students who walked briskly for 20 minutes before a test performed better on memory and reasoning tasks than those who didn't move. The reason? Physical activity releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like fertilizer for your neurons. So the next time you feel mentally foggy, don't reach for another coffee, go for a walk, do 10 push-ups. You'll come back sharper. Even a short morning routine, 5 minutes of stretching or skipping, signals your brain it's time to wake up and perform. Small movement, big impact. If you really want to remember something, teach it. There's a famous principle in cognitive science called the protégé effect. It says that when you explain something to someone else, you understand it more deeply yourself. I first tried this accidentally, helping a friend prepare for an exam. Explaining a chapter I barely knew forced me to organize my thoughts, simplify them, and fill the gaps. By the end, I knew it better than I ever had. You can do this alone, too. After finishing a topic, pretend you're teaching it to a beginner. Say it out loud. Draw diagrams. Record yourself. The act of retrieval, pulling information out of memory, strengthens those neural connections. You're not just learning passively anymore. You're training your brain to think. So each day, pick one small idea and teach it to a friend, your wall, or even your future self. Most people treat sleep like a luxury. Science says it's the foundation of intelligence. During deep sleep, your brain clears toxins, files memories, and makes creative associations you can't make while awake. In one MIT study, students who got 7 to 8 hours of consistent sleep performed better than peers who crammed late, even when both groups studied the same amount. Think of it like saving a document. If you study but don't sleep, it's like writing an essay and never hitting save, so protect your sleep window. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time. Avoid bright screens an hour before bed. Blue light blocks melatonin. If you're studying late, prioritize quality sleep afterward. Your brain will thank you with sharper recall and clearer thinking the next morning. Most students overload their brains with information, videos, notes, summaries, lectures, but forget to output. Neuroscience shows that real learning happens not when you absorb, but when you create or recall. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Input is like eating, output is like exercising. Without output, you're just storing calories. So, after every 60 minutes of learning, spend 15 minutes doing something with that knowledge. Write a summary from memory, explain it in your own words, connect it to something you already know. This habit alone can double your retention. And it's not just for studying. Writers, coders, even entrepreneurs use this ratio. They consume less, create more. It's a smarter way to get smarter. So, after every 60 minutes of learning, spend 15 minutes doing something with that knowledge. Write a summary from memory, explain it in your own words, connect it to something you already know. This habit alone can double your retention. And it's not just for studying. Writers, coders, even entrepreneurs use this ratio. They consume less, create more. It's a smarter way to get smarter. Now, a quick reality check. Most people try to adopt all these habits at once and burn out within a week. The key is gradual integration. Pick one, maybe the movement one, and make it automatic. Once it sticks, layer in another. Also beware of productive procrastination. It's easy to obsess over routines and forget the actual work. These habits are tools, not trophies. And remember, none of this works overnight. Your brain rewires slowly with repetition. But give it a few weeks, and the change becomes noticeable. You'll think faster, recall better, and feel mentally lighter. Let's recap. 5 science-backed habits that make you smarter, even without studying more. 1. Deep work blocks. Train your brain to focus longer. 2. Move before you think. Boost blood flow and creativity. 3. Learn by teaching. Turn knowledge into understanding. 4. Sleep on purpose. Let your brain consolidate and repair. 5. Balance input and output. Create more, consume less. Simple, proven, sustainable. If you start applying even one of these, you'll notice your brain beginning to cooperate with you instead of fighting you. It's not about being a genius, it's about designing a brain that acts like one. So try this. Tomorrow, pick one of these 5 habits and commit to it for just 7 days. Track how you feel, how clearly you think, how easily you remember. Then come back and tell me if you notice the difference. If this helped, you might like my next video. It's about how top students stay consistent even when motivation disappears. Until then, stay curious, stay kind to your brain, and keep growing.